Well, Grace and Peace Pensacola, it's revival time starting Wednesday, January 26th, all the way to Friday, January the 28th at 7 p.m. nightly at Powerhouse Assembly of God Church, 2200 West Jordan Street in Pensacola, Florida. Apostle Bruce and Pastor Cheryl Gully are the leaders. On Wednesday night, we have none other than Chief Apostle Robert Wagner Taylor. Thursday night, all the way from the city of Chicago, Illinois, none other than Prophet Joshua Montague. And on Friday, all the way from Mobile, Alabama, we have Prophet Isaac Grove. Listen, there's a seat with your name on it. Don't meet me there, but beat me there. God has a word with your name on it. Don't you dare miss it.
Thy kingdom come. Yes, yes, yes. We are back. Session number 2. Oh, week number 2. We are so excited. Hello. Did you have a chance to listen to last week's podcast? When I tell you it was on fire, it was on fire. And now we are here, week number 2. We have gotten such great feedback from all of our listeners. Thank you so much. We are so grateful. I want to say a big shout out to our producer, Kojak Productions, aka Chris Tanner, and we want to thank Reap Lodges for hosting us here at the Women and Children Shelter here in Pensacola, Florida. But yes, I'd like to introduce myself once again. This is Dr. Stinkin Thinkin, and the reason why this character name is important to me is because I want to give you a checkup from the neck up. And lots of times, all the things that we think, most of the things that we think and the choices that we make, it's all started with that mind, that mindset. And so when you turn it over to our higher power, which is God, through his son, and you just say, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, and you stop bringing in your own will, don't you know he will do it? I'm telling you, I am so excited. I have a special guest that is sitting with me this evening. As promised, each week when I do a podcast, I will bring a special sister from my Sister Friends collection. And she is a part of Sister Friends. And I'll tell you about that program that we developed. That her name is Krystal. And basically, she is coming to you in her own way to share her story. But the most awesome part about it is she is in transition from the shelter to moving into her place. And that's why we want to show you that homelessness doesn't have a face on whether it's old or poor or whatever, because all of these ladies that you are meeting are from different backgrounds. They maintain jobs, they do what they need to do, but yet life gets in the way and it can give you a wake-up call. And that's what happened with us. And if I didn't take this position on, and they also helped me transition into my home, and also gave me a job, thank you for the REAP program here in Pensacola, it was nobody but God that set this up for me. And so, Krystal, I want you to say hello to my podcast family.
Hey, podcast family.
And Krystal, just tell them, a little bit about yourself, how old you are, what do you like to do, are you married, are you single, in case my guys are listening. Hello. And just before getting into your story, because we're going to get into your story after the break, but just tell them some cool stuff you want to know. Do you attend church? What do you believe? Just different things like that. Go ahead, Krystal.
I'm Krystal. I'm 40 and I am single, but that's okay because the right one will find me when it's time, and I'm cool with that. I like to read. I like to go to the beach, and I kind of enjoy the checkup from the neck ups every once in a while. And let's see, what else? I like to travel and visit my family because I don't really have a lot of family. Well, I shouldn't say I don't have family. I have new created family.
There you go.
So I have a biological family. I have new created family here. But it's been a journey, and I'm glad to have been on it.
So let's give your biological family a shout out, because I know they listening for this podcast. Her family is a big supporter, so I know they listening.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give them a shout out.
let's see, there's family. My main family is in North Carolina.
North Carolina!
But they go from South Florida all the way up to Jersey and Connecticut.
Wow.
And then I have family in Arizona and Texas and Colorado.
Well, you talk a lot about your mom and dad. So they're where?
They're in North Carolina.
Okay, and what's their names?
Oscar and Gwen.
Oscar and Gwen, we love your daughter, Krystal. She is our ride or die. And she is so awesome to have around. And so Oscar and Krystal, Gwen, thank you so much. We're going to be right back. We have a commercial coming in. The callers are calling in. And so just hold on 1 second while we take this call. Okay, thy kingdom come. Woo! Welcome back. Let me tell you something, Krystal. This is only the second week. And look at God. Already got the phone ringing. Already got people calling. When I tell you this is ordained and just a blessing by God, I am so excited that it's people are feeling like they have a voice, you know, and we've been getting letters and calls from people, that's emails that's been saying, thank you so much for sharing your story. My daughter went through this, my son went through this. And I can't tell you, even working here at the shelter, how many calls we get a day, to where even my personal phone, my messenger on Facebook, people do call me or hit me up and say, can you help us? Can you get us in? And it's been blowing my mind these past 6 months. So with the podcast, we decided to go global this year. And how many what'd you say? Birth certificates or passports, or what is it you have?
3 birth certificates.
3 birth certificates, y'all. And I'm just getting the nerves to get 1 passport this year. And at 53, Krystal, I ain't left the country yet. Okay, hold on. Now, if you count when I was 18 and living in California, and I took that trolley across the border to Tijuana, then I did leave.
Technically, yes.
Technically, right?
Right.
But I came back.
Okay. We came back.
So now I'm ready to go global.
Okay.
And this year, our goal, our sister friends, our goal is to all get our passports so that we can travel together as a team. But our producer, Chris, he has to come with us because we need the footage. We need the footage to show we was there, right?
Yeah.
So pictures or it didn't happen.
He's coming. He's coming. So, Krystal, once again, our whole podcast is about putting a voice to homelessness and showing people how it doesn't have a face, because lots of times they stereotype homelessness, and that's all I've heard until it happened to me.
Right.
And so when it happened to me, and you know, as one of my sister friends, you know my story.
Yeah.
But as the podcast family begins to learn about Dr. Stinkin Thinkin, then they get to learn my story. And you just do a little bit of nuggets at a time, because we ain't got no time to just do it all in one podcast.
Right.
And my social life, you know, my status is complicated. So we ain't even gonna get into that right there. We just gonna leave that. That's a whole nother podcast.
Okay.
So today, Krystal, if there's a way that you could share some nuggets about homelessness to you and the journey that you had, and look at the glory that God gets when we turn it over to Him. I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, honestly, I was that person that said that'll never be me. Oh, y'all would see people on the street or, you know, tents or whatever. Oh, I was the bougie sister. That'll never be me. I'm like, okay, that'll never happen to me. And I got it. I can do this. I'll never be homeless. Until it actually started where I was actually accused of using a credit card fraudulently. When the girl tried to press charges on me, she was asked for evidence. She couldn't provide the evidence, and she had to let it go. But in this her making accusation, I lost my job. And this was after my car flipped 4 times. And then got totaled. So I went and got another car, lost my job, lost where I laid my head, and slept out of my car in less than 30 days.
Wow.
And then I went from that not feeling safe to where can I go, and being that in Pensacola there's nowhere for women,
right?
I'm left to my car. And then it became, well, where can I sleep that's safe? How am I going to eat? How am I going to wash my clothes? How am I going to take a shower? And then I ended up finding a shelter to where there's people on the floor. There's you might wake up in the middle of 3 o'clock in the morning and see a possum run across your toes.
Oh my Lord.
Or you might hear a rat under your bed, or people digging through your stuff. There was no heat, no air. All you had was a ceiling fan that didn't go very fast. And that's where I ended up. And so then that just wasn't working. But at the time, I didn't have a choice because that was the only place that I knew that I could go. And then I get told, well, you basically kind of outworn your welcome and you have to go.
Wow.
And mind you, there's people that have been there 10 plus years, but I went outworn my welcome. So now I'm back in the same place at this point because I'm in a position where I didn't have a job at the time. I wasn't there long enough to actually get a job. My car gets repoed in the middle of the night. So now I'm carrying out has stuff and I'm walking, and I end up in another shelter, and then this got accused from everybody that she has worked for her has stolen from her, but couldn't prove anything. So then I go to sleep on somebody's couch, and it went from, well, that'll never be me to, I feel like God gave up on me. Like, okay, well, this is where he wants me at, so how can he love me when he has me here? Woo! And then I went to, actually met a lady that invited me to church one Sunday. And I was like, all right, whatever, I'll go, but what I got to lose? Go to church, and then she, after a month of me going, she stopped going. I kept going. And now here I am now in the midst of bouncing between shelter to shelter. I'm here now relaunching this, where I find out that there are people who actually care.
Okay, stop right there. There was a shift when you said you gave up on God. And podcasts, they can't see it, but I see it, and I saw you shift, and your eyes turned red, and your whole demeanor just changed. And it's like, was that a tough moment for you to say that? Yeah, it was like that yoke in your throat, and it just reminded you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what's powerful about Thy Kingdom Come, because it has to, when it finally hits us, and that's where the Holy Spirit come in with what I do.
Right.
And when it do hit you, and you hit that nugget to say, that's what happened to me, right?
Right.
And that's when you realize that you are really in this situation.
Right.
Homelessness is real.
It's real. Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's how I felt. It was like a yoke hit me in the midst of juggling. Then something hit me and said,
and like it kind of popped up. Like,
why am I going through this?
Right.
I couldn't do nothing but turn to God and say, you got something planned for me, but I just don't know what it is. Right? And what did you say? You said,
I felt like he gave up on me.
You felt like he gave up. And that's powerful to kind of meditate on, because I watched you shift just now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, but he said in his word, he'll never leave you
Nor forsake you.
And I watched you, Krystal, get up and still go to church, because I know you before this shelter.
Right.
And that's how we met.
Right.
At church.
Yep.
And I never knew your story, but I see you faithfully keep coming. You see what I'm saying? And I was just a visitor at that church at that time.
Yeah.
But God still connected us, and we still somehow connected. And you was even bringing people to church.
You gave me right down Journal one day. That's the first time I actually talked to you.
Wow.
You gave me right down Journal. I had seen you come, moving around, but the first time I actually talked to you to know who you were, to know your name, was the day you dropped me off. They heard that girl at Dollar General.
And that was a couple of years ago. We're not talking about something that just happened within 6 months.
It was a couple years ago.
This journey,
like 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah, this journey was real. And that's why I don't really want our listeners to understand. You can get up every day and put that face on. Because I got up and went to the center every day, loved on them kids, had summer camp, did everything I was supposed to do, Krystal. But at the end of the day, they never knew I didn't have no place to go. They never knew it, and I never showed it. Because my faith had to still be in God, despite whether my family wouldn't take me in, I had to sleep in my car, whatever I had to do. I said, Thy kingdom come. Lord, whatever your will is, let's go. But that yoke hit my throat one day, and even my kids looked down. It was like the Job story.
Yeah.
And my kids even looked down like, why are you in this position? What are you doing? What's going on with you? They couldn't even get it.
Mm-hmm.
They were so beyond me that they couldn't understand. And I couldn't explain it. So go ahead.
Okay. So then I kept going to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And then every Sunday walking in and loving on the babies in church, nobody knew I was homeless. And then one Sunday, we ended up moving to a different location, and I didn't have a way to get there. So I was like, well, I can't keep coming because it's too far to walk. I don't have a car to get there, and but it's not run on Sunday. I can't afford a cab. I can't come. One of the ladies in the nursery said, "Give me your address. I'll make sure you get to church." And I felt like, okay, I don't want to feel like I'm putting her out because I didn't know where she lived. I didn't have a way of giving her gas money, none of that. And I said, I can't give you gas money. She was, give me your address. I'm making sure you get to church. And she would come and pick me up from this very shelter back in a different place. Pick me up and took me to church every Sunday and right back.
Wow.
And then I get a call.
Total strangers.
And I was sitting in the nursery on Sundays. But she made it a point to come and pick me up. And then I started to feel better about, not so much about my situation, but my faith in him.
Okay.
And then I get a call one day. I got a job. And then I get a call one day from the pastor asking if I had a license. In my head, I'm thinking, what kind of question is that? Like, that's crazy. In my head.
Well, pastor just called to say you got a license.
Like, some random question. I said, yeah. And he said, well, I'm asking because I see you come to church and you always catch a ride. But I didn't know if it's because you didn't have a license or what your situation was.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I have a license. I just can't afford a car. He said, well, I'm calling because I have a car that was donated to the church. And you're the first person I thought of.
Woo! Let's stop right there. I got to take a praise break because did you just say this pastor gave you a car?
Give me a car.
Because somebody donated a car.
He got donated to the church.
You know what, Thy Kingdom Come podcast family? That deserves a praise break. So I'm finna take a break. I'm finna stand up and give him glory, and we'll be right back. Woo! Yes, Thy Kingdom Come. So we are back. And I'm telling you, we are recording live from our shelter itself. And that's what makes it unique as far as our podcast, because we are recording inside our very own shelter, Reap Lodges, here in Pensacola, Florida. And so even while we're going through breaks and different things like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching women check in and check out at the same time. And so we're living in the now of what's going on. And so we want to give safe traveling mercies to the young lady, another young lady that just checked out. She was only here for 2 days, and she just checked out to go to Memphis. And so we wish her well. We wish her safe traveling, so that even one day when she play back and she happened to run across this podcast, we want her to know that we'll still be praying for her, and we'll still be looking out for her and her daughter and making sure that they have a safe travel, and that she gets stationary even at a young age, and that she will find a permanent place of residence, so that she don't have to keep going through this homelessness and different things that she's experiencing. And so, speaking of that, now you're here with the Reap Lodges, Krystal. How long have you been with us?
I've been here 4 months now.
4 months. So you've seen the good,
the bad, and the ugly.
The bad and the ugly. And which one you like the most?
The good.
The good. Okay, awesome. I was gonna say the bad and the ugly, but
that's the fun part.
That's the fun part.
I like the good, but the fun part is the bad.
That's a little bit of entertainment.
Yes.
Okay. And the ugly is just, I think, when they just get entitled and they forget we all came from being homeless.
Right.
You know, and so there's people that's still out there. We have a waiting list of them waiting to come in and get that very bed that they're so picky about.
Right.
And so, what do you think about our environment here? Is it clean? Is it dirty? What do you think?
It's compared to what I've seen and lived in, it's one of the best ones here around.
Okay.
As far as like not just the staff, but cleanliness and just the vibe itself is very, I don't want to say homey, but it's very like, it feels like, I feel like it's like more comfortable here than I have anywhere else.
Well, we want you to feel homey, and that's the intent that God gave me when I came here to be the night. We call it the house mom. Dr. Stinkin Thinkin's goal was to not remind you that you're in a shelter, to make it be like your home away from home. so that we decorate when it's the holiday times. What do we do?
Yeah.
We go on outings. We have an outing coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
Parent University, all the way from
Mhm.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. The ladies go there and get cute gift certificates and just take over the whole thing.
Yep.
They got a bus that come get us and we roll out.
And clean house.
And I mean, I'm telling you, it was skeptical at first, but we're going on our third or fourth one now.
Yeah.
And these ladies, they all raise their hand and want to go. And so we just try to keep it normal as much as possible. And Christmas was phenomenal. A lot of the donors, people just came out of nowhere and they just blessed these young people. They blessed the mothers that were here, the women, and we had an awesome time. So you've been here 4 months. Tell me something special that just happened.
I got my keys for my own place.
You got your keys?
Yes, ma'am.
Holla!
I want to do it.
What? Keys, Keys.
Yes, ma'am.
What, Krystal?
I sure did.
Tell me about those keys, baby.
So, I wasn't really expecting this particular place.
Okay.
Because I was looking at somewhere else.
Okay.
And that one didn't work out. And so then I was told, hey, the caseworker, Mr. Mike, hey, let's go to this place.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check this out. I said, okay. We go over there, and it turned out I actually felt I walked in. Like, you know, sometimes you walk in a place and you're uncomfortable.
Yes.
And then there's sometimes you walk in and you feel like this, like, sigh of relief.
Yes.
Like you feel at home.
Yes.
That's how I felt when I walked in.
Oh, my
Like, I walked
Lord.
in, I just felt like, okay, this is for me. Like,
This
this
is
is what I waited for.
This is it. We like sing a song. Krista and I got this. You name a little tag or something, and we just bust out a song.
Uh-huh.
She Googled it, put it on her Bluetooth, and I'm trying to sing what I can tell her she find it. So, you walked in and you said, This is it. This is it.
And
okay.
So it's
Did it answer you back?
No.
It didn't say, yeah, this it?
Well, it did, but, the house didn't answer.
Okay, it better not, because we ain't going over there to visit.
No, the house started talking.
Okay, we got a problem.
But I walked in and I said, myself said, huh? Hey, girl.
Yourself said, what?
Hey, girl. I said, this is it. I said, uh-huh. Go on, say yes.
Go on, do it.
Go on, say yeah.
You can afford it.
Yes. It's affordable.
And
it's a good location as far as my commute to work.
Okay.
And then it's the landlord is really, he's working on the work need. He's like, if you need this, let me know.
Wow.
I got it. He's like, if you see anything to be fixed.
Okay.
And there's a few things that he's got to touch up.
Sure.
But nothing like major.
Right.
And he's like, give me a couple days, I'll have it straight. If you need anything on the way, let me know. I got it.
Is it an apartment?
It's a house. Like
a house.
It's like a cottage style house.
A cottage house.
And it's 1 bed, 1 bath.
Shut up, Krystal. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you got your own space?
Yep.
You ain't got to worry about Pookie and Ray Ray and them saying, turn your music down because you too loud in the next room.
No.
You ain't got to worry about no cameras in your room. Remember that one place we lived in?
Oh, yeah.
The lady had cameras in the house watching us, our every move.
Yep.
Yeah, you ain't got none of that in there.
No.
You can knock on the door and nobody better not answer, right? They better not be in there. You can put a soda down, take and put some money down on the counter, and when you come back home from work, it better be still there. Okay,
yeah.
that type of house.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and, Pookie and Ray Ray better come knocking.
Pookie and Ray Ray better not come asking for no sugar.
Or no gum or no nothing else.
No
eggs,
milk, no nothing.
Nothing.
And okay, you got a little yard, you can decorate and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, because we're gonna, sister friends, that's what we do.
I know.
We're gonna come over there and watch, and we're gonna be a blessing to you, and we're gonna see what else you need and how to help you make that house into a home.
I got a little spot on the side I can park in the front yard, in the front.
Okay.
Or I got put a cement slab on the side, park on the side.
Cement slab on the side.
Yep.
Man.
And then he said he's gonna put like the motion sensor on the front.
Okay.
It is a little, of course it's dark outside. So he's gonna put a motion sensor on the front so it'll light up when I come in out of the house.
Well, we got the Walmart donations, and so I'll be looking out for some. I think we got some out there.
Okay.
We're gonna have to look out for that ahead of time, and he can just install it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Right.
Okay. All right. So Krystal, how does that feel?
It felt good to I met with him today and signed my lease. He handed my keys.
Signed your lease today.
Yes,
the day of our podcast.
That's it.
Oh my goodness! Look at God's
He
timing.
called me and he's like, how far are you? So I told him, you got to give me 30 minutes. I pulled up. He pulled right behind me. We signed paperwork.
He came up here to the shelter.
He came to the shelter and met me at the shelter. And
The landlord
came to the shelter.
What you say?
And we went on release, signed it. I got a copy of it. He handed my copy. He handed my kids.
Who taught you that? When you handed something, get an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Who taught you that? Dr. Who?
Dr. Stinkin Thinkin.
Dr. Stinkin Thinkin.
What you say?
I tell them ladies in a minute podcast family, don't you exchange nothing without getting nothing back. He better hand you them keys back. And through this awesome program of REAP, they're able to pay your first and last and security, which is a blessing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He paid the rest of this month, all next month, my security deposit, all that stuff.
What you say?
And said that if I need anything else for like deposits for like my water, and the landlord was nice enough to have the water and the lights and stuff turned on
already.
So all I gotta do is just call the people and switch over my name. And then he put brand new everything in there. And he said he let the refrigerator out because he didn't have anybody in there.
Okay.
But he told me to call him tomorrow. If I want him to put a refrigerator, call him tomorrow and he'll put the refrigerator in there for me.
So there's no refrigerator in there?
Not right now. Not yet. He said he'll put his own work, or he work on it, he'll put the refrigerator in there for me.
Okay, I was going to say, now we got to put some stuff in there. You know, we go shop.
Oh, yeah. But he'll put the refrigerator in me so I have a refrigerator when I move in.
Tenfold.
And, but, I mean, everything is new.
Krystal.
All I gotta do is give me a washer and dryer.
Look at God. Podcast family, did you hear that? She went from a 4-year struggle, going back and forth, still being normal, going to North Carolina, visiting her parents, her sister for Christmas. She sent you a ticket, right?
Yep.
And you was able to leave the shelter for a week. What shelter lets you stay out for a week? None.
Nobody.
But REAP Lodges gave her a week pass so that she can fly to North Carolina and be with her family for Christmas podcast. And our program director, Mr. Richard Lynch, he is such an awesome boss. That is a privilege and it's a pleasure to work with him. And they approved it, and you went and enjoyed that week. I even called you. I was like, everybody got 2-3 day passes. Where you at? When you due back? And he was like, in a week. I said, a week? And as the night manager, I forgot she was my friend. I was like, who do that? So it was a blessing. And then to come back and you still go to work. You get up every morning, leaving at 6 o'clock. Yep. Do what you got to do. And today was that day. Do you feel like he left you now?
No.
What you say? I don't think the podcast family heard you.
I'll say he didn't leave me. He just had to show me. He had to open my eyes and show me and say he never left. It's like the footprints thing where, like, you know, when that footprint leaves.
Yes. That was
him that was carrying me.
Yes.
I learned that all over again.
Yes. And remember some of the things that you were saying that you wanted to do. And that's why he had to put you, that's why none of the other places would work. You wanted to do a group with the women where you wanted them to read a book together, like a book club. You wanted to even have some of your cell groups come to your house.
Yeah.
Right? But you knew that if you were staying with other folks in like a rooming house or something like that,
it couldn't happen.
It would be inconveniencing them because they might not serve the same God that you serve. Yeah. But God said, hold on, baby, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he made you slow down to where he put you right in your own cottage. With a cement slab on the side that's going to be a gazebo pretty soon so we can sit out there and barbecue this summer. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's in a cul-de-sac to where the landlord, right?
He
told me he owns the whole block.
Yep.
Shut your face.
And keep on talking.
He owns the whole block and gave you your piece of space. And it's just you, boo.
Just me.
Come on now. Pookie and Ray Ray and them going to be calling you like crazy.
Pookie and Ray Ray going to find some business.
What you say? Because they come out of nowhere, Krystal, once they see it. You know, because we can hit rock bottom. But it's when we boom and bounce back up, then here they come. Can I just stay with you for a minute? No. Let's go through the process like I did. Let me refer you to some places. Because didn't I do the same thing?
Yeah.
When I moved into my apartment, what did I do? People was coming. Yeah. And I was trying to be Miss Soft-Heart, taking them in, right? And they didn't appreciate it. They didn't help me. They stayed 2 weeks. Each one stayed 2 weeks at a time.
That's a famous number.
Never paid. There's that number too.
Mm-hmm.
Never paid the whole time they were there.
Yep.
Electric bill went up, food bill, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They just left with attitude because I told them, okay, it's been 2 weeks, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And then they just gave me their butt to kiss. To where God was showing me, you always wanted an apartment, and I gave you what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I asked for. The width of the bathroom, everything. Because this big girl needs some space, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't want to be crammed up in no little small box. Right?
Yeah.
He gave me everything I asked for. Even how I took my time and picked my furniture out.
Mm-hmm.
And at the whole time, I always had a safe place to come, which was here at the Reap Lodges. And I was able to stay in my room
Mm-hmm.
as the night manager and still be about my father's business
Yep.
while he was taking care of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something, Krystal. It's such a different feeling when you, like, that's why I made you leave today after dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, Krystal, why are you sitting here? And you was like, huh? I says, you got your key. Take some of this stuff to your house and go open the door. Go look at it. Go just hang out. You were like, okay. Because you're so used to being in these type of environments that it's going to take you a minute
Mm-hmm.
to realize when you get off of work one day,
I got keys.
you got to go home.
Yeah.
Because you can't come here. I'm going to be looking at you at the gate and my security camera like, don't y'all open that gate. Don't let her in. She ain't coming in here. She got a house. Then I'm going to text you from my phone and say, Krystal, go home.
Right.
I was just coming to see if you need some help. No, go home.
But I gotta come to a vision board though.
Yes, vision board on the 25th. That's one good thing about Sister Friends. Krystal is our editor. She's our news person that will be making newsletters. And tell them about Sister Friends and what we started.
Okay, so Sister Friends started to initially as a way to help women that are here to transition out as they transition out into their own place. And it was a way, it's designed to help keep up with each other. Because a lot of times as we transition out and we do our own thing, we tend to kind of lose touch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know I'm guilty of that myself.
I'm so guilty of it.
So Sister Friends is designed to keep up with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like once a month we'll get together and do like housewarming parties, or we'll go do karaoke or whatever it is that we decide to do. And it's also a way to, we kind of put our money into a pot to help each other out. So like if Miss Evelyn's in a bind and she said, hey, look, you guys, I need help with this, then we can help her out. Or if it's, Becky with the good hair, she need help, then she said, hey, look, I'm in this situation. And so we can not only help each other through our own funding, but we can keep up with each other and say, hey, look, you're not by yourself.
Yes.
You're not out here by yourself. You ain't got to do it by yourself. And
It's
we do
a
life with each other.
self-funded way for us as sisters to never put ourselves in this situation again. And this was such an awesome idea that we want to bottle and market to let people know we didn't just stop in the shelter. And we didn't just stop when they gave us our key and paid our deposit to move into our home. But we want to stop the retention rate of people getting out of their apartments after they paid all that money to get in and then going right back to homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted it to be another way that we can still allow them to maintain where they are, but yet be self-sufficient. And lots of times they don't go back because they couldn't pay the rent. They go back because of loneliness and being detached from each other. Because here in the shelter, we have such a bond here that you miss it once you transition. And so our goal as Sister Friends is, even as we transition out, we started a board of directors before we even transition out, right? And so now that the rest of you all are transitioning out, then it's like now it's going to give you more focus to look on there and say, okay, who we missed, who we didn't contact, who whatever. Because here it's hard to get organized because you're going through the program of the shelter plus trying to work and stuff. But watch how God frees you up, and now you'll have time to look at the big flow chart and say, okay, who did we miss? Who did we? And I can check in with you when I leave and say, Krystal, let's get together this weekend, who we missing, get with the other team members, and we can really be effective in how we reach them. And that's why God released you when he did, to free you up, so that now Sister Friends can not just be a name and not just do patchwork, But now we can really take that thing and run with it and really be a blessing, because these ladies are getting transitioned into their homes much faster than we thought.
Yeah.
And we're like, so many of them are just getting their place, and we're like, oh Lord, because Reap Lodge is not playing with the thing. They are putting them in homes. But our goal now is to make sure they stay in the homes. And they can't do that. They did their part. So now it's up to us to be self-sufficient, to show them that we're grateful for what God do for us. Thy kingdom come, right?
Yep.
But now he says, your will be done, Lord. And that's when he imparted in us this idea as sister friends to keep it going.
Yep.
So, Krystal, I just want to thank you for coming and sharing your awesome story. Not only are you the momentum for why we do what we do, but you showed the ladies in this podcast that you might have started here, but if you just hold on, I don't care if it's 4 years, right? Help me, Holy Ghost. If you endure to the end, the blessing is right there. And here you are in this beautiful cottage, everything you need, the space that you need. You were willing to live with people, but you really desired your own space because you're at an age where it's like, okay, I can't keep doing this college stuff.
Yeah.
Shacking in a twin when I need to be in a queen in a king size bed. Hello, somebody. Woo! And I could just see myself walking in your house. Not even before I even get in the door, you got sage everywhere.
I did tonight.
See that? I said, go over there. I said, go over there and bless that house, baby. I know you finna do it.
And this Jewel right there with me.
Woo! And podcast, excuse my language, she got this one fragrance.
Oh, that's my joint.
Oh, man. We used to put it in here in the shelter. Excuse me, podcast. But this fragrance is called what, Krystal?
Bitch be gone.
I didn't say it. Krystal said it, so I'm just going to say it. I didn't say it, America. I didn't say it. She said it. And let me tell you something. That fragrance is so powerful, and it works. All the attitudes, all the isms and schisms disappear. And it's such a peace up in here. And so we want to thank you, Krystal, for just being a part of this podcast. And thy will be done. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So as we transition and we're getting ready for this big food giveaway tomorrow, the ladies are getting busy with it. I just want to thank you for just being my sister friend.
Thank you for being a resident auntie.
Okay, that's what she used to call me, resident auntie. And we're gonna podcast family. I want you once again to plug in for the next cast, and we're gonna tell Pete,
Tell Paul,
to tell Saul,
tell them all,
to tell them all, baby. Dr. Stinkin Thinkin is here, and she's here on fire for y'all. Good night.
Check it up from the neck up.
Check up from the neck up. We love you.